Gyro Aim in Fortnite has been around since Season 3 but hasn't really made the waves all that much since it came out. Many popular streamers said it has potential to be the best input method, but we haven't really seen any pros using it. However, I think because it is a new input method, this is why we don't see many professionals using it, and I do think that for some people, it can definitely help them reach their full potential. In this video, I'm going to be showing over Gyro Aim, its pros and cons, and how to configure the settings to match your playstyle. Now, one thing I do want to clarify is that Gyro is only supported on PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and PC users who are using a PlayStation controller, ideally the DualSense, so it is not an option for Xbox users. It is also supported on the Switch, but the Switch has many problems, so yeah. So the main reason why Gyro is better than controller aim is that it just gives you more degrees of freedom to make fine adjustments. Remember, Gyro still lets you use your C-stick the way you regularly do, but you can aim and tilt your controller to make fine adjustments. You can configure your gyro to only work when you ADS, and if you do this, you can retain your aim assist when you're not ADSing, so that you can have that really good shotgun aim. This gives you the ability to experience the best of both worlds. Many controller players struggle to make fine adjustments and rely on aim assist to do that, though aim assist has been nerfed many times. While it has been temporarily boosted for the month, for this Chapter 3 remix, it's gonna go back to normal in Chapter 6, and I wouldn't be surprised if it continues to get nerfed. But if you don't trust my reasoning, you can see for yourself in videos where people do tests on aim labs, where they compare their C-stick aiming with their gyro aiming, and their gyro aiming easily crushes it, coming very close to what they can accomplish on a keyboard and mouse. And I really want to emphasize this. These are people who probably spent 20 times the amount of time playing on C-stick than gyro, so if anything, with their experience, their C-stick should be better than their gyro aim, but just a little bit of experience on gyro puts them above C-stick, and I think that's really worth noting. Another thing that I really wanted to emphasize is that with gyro on, because you're making those precise movements with your gyro, you're able to rely on your gyro sensitivity and less on your controller sensitivity. So you can finally up your look sensitivity to 6, 7, maybe even 8, and that's going to really help you turn faster, which is one of the main things that controller players struggle with. With mouse, you can move your mouse around the mouse pad and do a quick swipe, but regularly on controller, you're kind of limited to the small radius you have on your sticks. But we do need to take one thing into account, and that's that Fortnite has aim assist. On Fortnite, I actually have seen three-way comparisons looking at C-stick, gyro, as well as mouse and keyboard, and we see that gyro and mouse and keyboard get the same score, but even regular C-stick aiming with aim assist does not match up to those three scores. That said, of course, aim training, aim labs, that type of stuff, it's not a perfect representation of what goes on in game. So I'm not going to come here and say that this is objectively better than aim assist, but it is definitely worth looking into. Now, if you guys look at my other clips and you're thinking, well, Helos, you're not even that good. Why are you telling us what to do? This isn't a my thing versus your thing. No, I'm trying to put the two of them together and turn you into the best possible player. As I said, this is mainly for PlayStation users or controller on PC users who want to up their game. And I'm telling you, experiment with this because it could be what helps you get your first earnings. And let's be real, a lot of you aren't even going to turn pro in the first place. Many of you just want to be better than the people in your friend group, get more wins in the game. And so, yeah. So you're going to want to head to the touch and motion portion of your settings and turn gyro aiming on, obviously. And for the active mode, you can I have it set on always because I like to have it always on. But for those of you who have really good shotgun aim using your C-sticks, you'll probably want to put it on to scope only or scope or aiming only. And that way you get to kind of retain your aim assist while you're in that mode. You won't have gyro interfering with it because if you're good at it, you're good. That's what you can do over there. For building, that's personal preference. For the gyro button, you don't really need to worry too much about that either. The look stick effect, that's something you want to set to none because why would you want to disable gyro? For sensitivity, I have mine set to 3. For most of you, I'd probably recommend setting it to 2.2 and then gradually up it as you get more comfortable with higher and higher sensitivities. For steadying, I have that set to 7. Some of my alts I have it set to 9. What that does is that just makes things a bit less shaky. This can make it easier to snipe. It makes your footage less jittery. So yeah, experiment with that. For acceleration, set it to off because acceleration is terrible. Flick stick, this is an interesting thing that basically with your C stick you won't be able to gradually move, you'll just be able to do instantaneous turns. So if you put your C stick down, you'll instantaneously turn behind yourself. It's pretty interesting, but it's not very natural. I instead just like to set my look sensitivity higher because I can use gyro for the fine precise movements. It's up to you, but I would definitely leave this off in the beginning, and then later on if you get comfortable, try it out in creative and see if it's right for you. So for my multipliers, I kind of had to look at this for a while. Why did I set it like this? But I think by default it's set to 0.7. So I kept aiming like this, and then I changed it a bit for scoped so that yeah, I would have that effect. It's really up to you. So honestly, I started using gyro because I started playing Fortnite on the Switch, and lots of Switch games utilize gyro, so that's pretty much why I turned it on. Fortnite was my first shooter. I started playing 2 years ago, so that kind of explains it, but I'm glad I made that switch because the game is infinitely more fun, and I think I've gotten better than I ever could have just relying purely off stick game. And I know that I would not enjoy keyboard and mouse because, you know, I work all day on a keyboard. Why do I want to switch to a video game and then continue using a keyboard? Just doesn't make sense. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Do any of you guys use gyro? Are you gonna switch to gyro or at least try it after watching this? Let me know, and peace.